You are now in possession of the most revolutionary development in the annals of cryptography and its history. The kind of thing that has the ability to fundamentally rethink the economic landscape of the entire planet. Neither Silicon Valley nor Wall Street were the places where this specific story was first told. This product originates from the towering heights that Dubai is known for. If you want to know the truth, this futuristic desert metropolis is rapidly preparing itself to become the financial capital of the digital period that will come in the future. What would you think if I told you that Ripple, the blockchain company that owns XRP, has just recently been granted permission to make a breakthrough initial public offering? Rather of taking place in New York or London, why not take place in Dubai? And what if I told you that a large element of this move involves a substantial and clandestine buy of XRP tokens by none other than a member of the royal family of the United Arab Emirates? What would you think about that? This is not a question of speculation, rather it is backed by papers that have been leaked, transactions that are available on the blockchain, and even a massive public declaration issued by the Burj Khalifa, which is the highest tower on the world. All of these things provide evidence that this is the case. The initial public offering IPO of Ripple, which is also referred to as Project Sandstorm, is purportedly already in progress as indicated by reliable sources, the one that will stop you from uttering a single word. The charges include that the sheikh made a purchase of 5 billion XRP tokens at a price of $500 each, which would result in a transaction value of $2.5 trillion. In the event that what you have stated is true, then this would immediately become one of the most significant private cryptocurrency deals in the history of the whole planet. To begin, let us begin with the most important aspect of this earth-shattering news, which is the acceptance of Ripple's initial public offering IPO by the Dubai Free Zone Authority. Ripple's listing on the Dubai financial market appears to have been granted clearance, according to documents that were discovered online and with the name Dubai FCA Project Sandstorm. These documents appeared to be a certificate of certification. These records were discovered on the internet. Because of the striking resemblance between the documents' layout, holographic markings and seals, and those of legitimate free zone registrations, the whole financial community has begun to have questions about the authenticity of the documents. On the other hand, the paper's reliability has not been verified with any evidence. The fact that these disclosures coincide with Ripple's more public flirtation with international expansion is very notable. This is especially true in light of the fact that the business has been engaged in a difficult legal struggle with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. A high-profile settlement agreement was reached between Ripple and the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) in March 20. The agreement stipulated that Ripple would pay a reduced fine of $50 million while simultaneously conceding that the business had not committed any violations. Due to the fact that this legal determination was reached, Ripple was able to fully function and expand its activities across international borders. Ripple is apparently heading full speed ahead with an initial public offering IPO that fully circumvents Wall Street. This is the current situation, which is a little more than 3 months after the first public offering. So where exactly is it? A financial safe haven and innovation hub that is also the heart of innovation, Dubai with less regulatory impediments and a fantastic market for creating technology, Dubai with a tremendous market for developing technology. Ripple's decision is a strategic response to regulatory opposition from the United States, and it is also a suggestion that the company aims to lead a global financial shift from a foreign location, according to one interpretation of the move. On the other hand, the occurrence that took place in the skies over Dubai is the thing that genuinely sets this story apart from others. An odd LED light display that is now being projected atop the Burj Khalifa has been captured on tape, and that footage has been made public. In the form of massive light animations, the phrase 500 XRP was shown to the audience. Beginning at the very top of the tallest building in the world, Project Sandstorm begins to scroll down the side of the building. The statement was followed by a series of visuals, which included the Ripple logo, XRP currency that were floating in the air, and cryptic language that signaled the beginning of a new era of global liquidity. There was very little room for debate over the value of the work. Not a single one of these is a fake. A deliberate message was delivered from one of the most prominent landmarks on the whole planet to the most influential individuals in the world's financial industry. The message was intended to be received by those individuals. In other words, what precisely does it mean to hold XRP valued around $500? This would allow the market capitalization of XRP to approach the trillions, possibly making it the most valuable digital asset in the history of the world, exceeding even Bitcoin in terms of its worth. This would occur if the supply levels remain the same as they are now. Skeptics would say that such a value is absurd. Nonetheless, there is more to this than simply hype. This is something that should be taken into consideration. There is a possibility that XRP is on the verge of becoming a global liquidity bridging asset that dominates the current market. As a result of Ripple's importance as a facilitator of international payments, as well as its adoption by central banks, financial institutions, and now sovereign investors, this is the case. The rumored purchasing of 5 billion tokens by the royal family of the United Arab Emirates is not only speculation, rather it is an indication of genuine faith in the institution. According to the findings of blockchain experts, wallet activity has been traced to show a purchase of precisely 5 billion XRP tokens. These tokens were routed through a digital exchange located in Dubai, which is well known for hosting operations linked to sovereign wealth funds. The digital exchange was used to facilitate the cryptocurrency transaction. Some individuals who are aware of the circumstances have the opinion that the address that is getting the message is associated with a high-ranking official. In the 48 hours that followed the display of the Burj Khalifa, the address discloses a transaction that involved the conversion of stablecoins worth $2.5 trillion into XRP. There was no separation of this acquisition into a number of smaller transactions that were executed separately. A single massive buy-in, which is a form of whale movement that frequently takes place on occasion, was an event that caused the whole market to be shook. On the other hand, this particular one went utterly overlooked. There has been no crash or sell-off. There has been nothing but silence up to this moment. Taking this into consideration, let us now examine the geopolitical ramifications from this. Through its approval of Ripple's initial public offering, IPO, and its backing of this transaction, the United Arab Emirates is making a very significant statement. When it comes to matters of money, the Middle East is ready to take the initiative in the generation that will come after us. Over the course of several decades, the United States dollar, the Federal Reserve, and Western financial institutions have held a position of preeminence in the economy of the whole world. Nevertheless, its effect is increasingly being questioned from a variety of perspectives. The fact that Ripple has moved its headquarters to Dubai, and that one of the wealthiest monarchies in the world has expressed support for XRP, is evidence that the center of gravity in the world of finance is shifting. And what about the New York Stock Exchange? It has been stated that those in control of the corporation are quite angry. Historically, Ripple had the potential to become a blockbuster in the United States. Nevertheless, at the present time, it is being exploited as leverage by a foreign government in order to achieve a strategic advantage in the struggle for worldwide monetary dominance. Not only is there the potential for monetary gain at risk here, but also influence. During this era of digital technology, the issue that has to be answered is who has the authority to control the pipelines that make up the financial world. As of right now, RippleNet has already created partnerships with more than 300 distinct financial institutions. The native coin of the cryptocurrency, which is denoted by the symbol XRP, was developed with the goals of being quick, scalable, and liquid. These are all traits that older systems are having difficulty supplying on their own. Infrastructure is of the highest significance since tokenized assets are rapidly become the standard, and central bank digital currencies, also known as CBDCs, are being deployed. Both of these developments are occurring simultaneously. Ripple, on the other hand, is supposedly on the approach of becoming public in the one region that is actually open to the concept of introducing revolutionary financial infrastructure. Consequently, what are the repercussions that this phenomenon has for regular investors? Might it be too late to do so? Does anyone know if the expedition to the moon has been launched as of yet? Not quite, to be sure. It is possible that the $500 value in the shake sale is a locked-in bulk pricing based on anticipated future usage rather than market speculation about the price. This is something that might be the case with the shake sale. This is a huge vote of confidence despite the fact that it is occurring. It is clear that institutional players are prepared to hold on to XRP for a considerable amount of time given the current price for the cryptocurrency. In and of itself, this is a thesis statement. As exchanges rush to find sources of liquidity in preparation for Ripple's public debut, market observers are already anticipating the possibility of an increase in secondary demand. There is a possibility that this spike will take place according to market analysts. Although it is likely that this may result in price pressure and may even bring XRP closer to the $500 level on open markets,